One of the things I wanted to talk to you about today, because I think that you kind of set a goal while we were talking one day, and I don't even know if like we've even followed up or talked about it again, but I know that you have this idea of like your job, even though it is so much and there's so many different pieces. And this is obviously like how I've been, like, I think from the day I walked into the school, because my mission has always been a little bit different, because I wanted to like help people and, change the world and like get people like the guidance counselor-ish kind of thing, like help them through this really crazy time of life, which is, early 20s or whatever. And now that I'm older, now I'm relating more to the moms that are like coming back to school and stuff. But you said, you're like, I want it to be like when they come to me, I'm able to give them something that they leave like life advice and like a way to handle a situation better. So without specific examples, I know you've been able to do that, and just tell us about kind of what that looks like or what you want it to look like, because as a business owner, this is something that makes a difference. And I don't think people always see like this side of you or this part of you, but I want you to kind of talk about it a little bit.
Okay. I like this because this is what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
This is what we do
When you say we do also, like it's every day.
every
We're
day.
together.
We start the morning with it, and we have afternoons, and before we leave, and then after work, we're calling, texting, or just
Sending
hanging out.
like motivational videos of like, oh yeah, this idea or this, or it's like you, me, Tia, Mark, like all kind of like having these talks about this stuff. So tell us about that.
So, okay, and yeah, so like I said, there's a deeper level, and so, when a student comes to my office, whether consciously or unconsciously, if they think, oh, okay, I'm going to take this piece of advice. Again, one of my things is never underestimate the power of a seed. One little thing that you can say might stick with someone, and then 5 years down the road, it pops back up and blossoms into something else. I love planting those little seeds, and whether or not they choose to take the advice, I can't do anything about that. I can give them the tools. And I'm also big on, I don't want to fix the problem for you, because then what happens the next time you get in this problem? You don't know how to fix it. You need someone to fix it. I want to give you the tools to let you fix it. And I'm here, ask question. I got question mark tattooed on me. I'm all about it. You're never going to know if you don't ask. And that's where information comes from. And I'm big on questions. And I don't know. So I really do try to, impose a lot of wisdom, if you will, in them, because again, while I am young, I'm much older mentally, I think. And
Yeah,
I've
for
just
sure.
been through a lot and developed, and I've had a huge mental health journey over the last 12 plus years. And I have built these, like, I have these tools now to navigate my way through problems. Relationship problems and work problems and personal, and just when you're feeling down. And again, now it's getting cold and the seasonal depression's hitting for everyone. Like, how do you manage that stuff? And you just adapt. I always say, roll with the punches. It's a pebble in the road. Stay on that path. When one of those obstacles comes up, don't veer off and go, drop out of school and change your career. You just manage it. You get through it. Those hard times are going to come up.
Yeah.
And it's, again, don't let it derail you. Just keep on the path. Now, again, I'm also, I advise self-awareness and think it, introspectively. If you don't want to do this, don't do this. Don't, what do they say? They say when you realize you're on a wrong train, the longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to be to get back. Like, go ahead and get off of that train if you realize you're going the wrong way. But I don't know. Did that answer your question? I feel like I went on a big tangent.
A lot of times that you have, and I think this has changed how I handle situations. I'm so solution oriented, and you're more like, you're going to process it. You're going to think about it before you like react. And I feel like that's shifted in me because I've seen it happen where if there is an issue in the school, right? Like, are we going to get everything right 100% of the time? No. And I tell students that like our goal is to do everything right all the time. But is there going to be something where maybe a student says something offhand, or we need to talk to whatever the situation is? It comes to us, which is what we want it. We want it to come to us. We want to be able to handle it and to hear you out. But you're really good about let me hear what you're actually saying. Like, because you might just be really, somebody might just be super worked up about something. And you're really good about being like, okay, I'm going to put my, what do you say?
Oh
My
yeah.
teacher hat.
Okay,
I hear you said this.
I'm taking my administrator hat off and putting my friend hat on right now. Again, my in the administration world, you have to be at school, you got to do this, don't miss any days. But as a friend, if you need to take a day, take a day.
Yeah.
Like it's not, again, I'll look at their attendance and again, sometimes I'm like, you're at 69% attendance. You can't miss any days. What you do with that is up to you. Again, you're your own person. Make the decision. If you can, attend well after taking 2 days off, okay, do it. But I don't know. I mean, again, what works for me isn't going to work for you, and what works for you isn't going to work for everyone else. And so
I
I'm
think
just real big
sometimes
about
I
that
feel like at
personal.
other schools, like from what I've heard or like even what I've gathered from being around, other people in the industry is like the easy route is to just be like, okay, this is just the rule and you got to go home and whatever, and like it's not what we do. Like we try to like talk them through it so that it's not such a negative experience of like, oh, it sucks that you're, late again, but here's the thing that you can do and go home and have a
I
good
like to
day. And
give options as well. Like, no, I can't excuse you're late, but if you need to talk about changing your schedule,
hmm
let's do that. Again, let's think about another solution. Again, there was that student, they emailed and said something about missing a Saturday and they were out of it. And I said,
oh yeah.
what do you think I should do?
hmm
Honestly, like, what do you think? And I was totally open, whatever they said, I was gonna let them do that because if that's what they think should happen, again, if they had said something crazy, I wouldn't have let it slide. But they were like, excuse it. Okay, I'll excuse it. But just know, like, this is the one time. Like now, if this comes up, you're not gonna have the exception. So
yeah.
just I mean, you have to work with the cards you're dealt and
And just understanding that they're real people with real things also. I mean, there's
yeah.
times that like I feel like my mindset has shifted to where I'm like, when somebody does come to us, if they're in a bad mood or they're complaining about something or whatever, like I try to reshift it to be like, what's actually going on? I don't even think it's about this student situation, what's going on here, what's going on. Are you working after school? Are you overwhelmed? Are you coming in tired? Like, what's really going on to be able to help them in like a more real way? I think
And some
also.
people just need to talk about it. I mean, again,
Mhm.
I'm super
Just like
big
need to
on
be heard.
speech therapy, again, untangled emotions, get all the tornado of stuff in your head, get it out. Like
Mhm.
that's going to help and that's going to let you identify what the problem really is. And then you try to tackle it, like you try to handle it. So we just talk, let them talk. A lot of times that does it itself. Is
Mhm.
just letting them talk and figure out what the problem is and then they will come up with a solution for themselves and realize or maybe it's not that big of a deal or I'm just going to not talk to this girl. Like things can be a lot worse in your head than they are in real life, and once you again just close the circle or get a task done, everything just gets easier, I think. And yes, hard things come up and life throws you curveballs, so expect it.
Yeah.
Find again comfort in the chaos. Like that's something that
Mhm.
I've just had to do. Like I'm
Mhm.
just like, okay, I'm looking for a feeling that's not gonna come with how the world is. I want to wake
Yeah.
up and everything be perfect and only things go the way that I want. And wow, all the food I had is amazing, but they're gonna bring the wrong dish or they're gonna do this and there are
It's
gonna
the
be
joy in the
problems.
journey kind of thing, I think,
Yeah,
finding the
yeah,
happiness in
exactly.
it. Like, and we're
I'm on
so
the
open
path.
and honest, like with them before they even start about challenges that they're going to face. And like, we've seen it. This isn't an easy route. And we try to be as open with them about it so they can know what challenges they might face. And at orientation, we're like, if this, if that, if, we've gone through this enough that we know what the hard part is going to be. But we've also seen thousands of people at this point come out on the other side of it and be so successful and so happy and find like the happiness. And then like my favorite thing is always like I got a message last week from one of our graduates that graduated like 2 months ago, and it was just like I didn't think I was gonna miss it, but I miss it, like I miss like. And she actually said, she was like, it's just nuts. She was talking to like two of the graduates went to work at the same salon and they were talking, they're like, isn't it weird that TSB just goes on without us? And I'm like, it doesn't though. I'm like, we miss
Mm.
you and like
It's
we
a
feel in
different,
the
I mean,
absence. Like
yeah,
that's what I said. I was like, it doesn't just go on without you. It was like
yeah,
there's just different seasons and different eras of
yeah.
like big personalities being there with us. And then all of a sudden it's the new class that comes in and we get to see a constant shift and change. And I feel like that.
Maybe that's why we stay excited about it too,
Mhm,
is because like we see the potential in everyone. And
mhm.
again, when we have an oriented that's what I've always said is my favorite part about the job is getting a call, someone has general question, how long is it going to take? What do I need to do this? And then they come in, they meet with us, they end up starting,
Mhm.
they take clients, they're graduating,
Mhm.
they work in a salon. I mean, then they come back and teach classes, and it's just great watching that growth. And you see these people, especially single mothers or people changing their life
Yeah.
paths, like,
Mhm.
and they just blossom into this great new human. And I mean, I think that's something about TSB is that we really provide the environment to let people thrive,
Oh yeah.
let people bloom into who they're supposed to be, what
Yeah.
they want to be, and we'll guide them. And I mean, again, that's what we say is that, TSB is just the starting point of a ton of different paths. If
Mhm.
you want to go into this or that or that or that or Cosmo or advanced education, you can go down any path from the doors of TSB,
Mhm.
and it's up to you, and it's through that 1,500 or 750 hours where you just decide what path you want to go down.
Mhm.
And again, I'm big on it's never too late to change paths, even if you've been behind the chair and you want to get into product manufacturing or say brand rep. I mean, you can. It's never
Mhm.
too late. And so again,
And just building like all of those connections for you to help support you through it. Like I love when the graduates like reach out and they're like, "Hey, I'm either like I'm switching school or I'm doing this or I'm doing that," and we're like able to help them. It's
mhm,
like a part of what we do. So I think that's really important. One thing that I wanted to talk to you about too is um just some advice for, again, we know our world, where we are and we've been exposed a little bit. One of the things that we talk about is getting to go visit, another established school, one that is doing things that we want to be doing and going out there. But for people, because there obviously is this idea in this like way on social media. And I think that, I mean, Mark always says, like, if you're looking for the negative, you'll find the negative
yeah,
and like whatever. And so I've been on this thing where I'm like, okay, I'm seeing a lot of negativity, right, about beauty school. And some of it is justified. Some of the schools are not operating the way that they need to. I mean, a school here shut down because they were not operating properly and all of the things. So, like, that definitely happens. And we're kind of seeing it more and more. So, one of the conversations that we've been having a lot is, what to look for. We tell people all the time when you're going out, like, or when they meet with us, we're like, hey, have you checked out other beauty schools? And if they're like, no, we're like, okay, well, we recommend to go look at some other one, get feedback, talk to graduates, talk to students, because we have so many transfer students that we're like, go check out all of them and go where you feel comfortable. That's our biggest thing. That was not me by any means that implemented that. That was way before us. But, going where you feel comfortable, I think is really important. What are some of like the tips that you would give to somebody that is thinking about beauty school, looking even in another state? Because like they're like you mentioned, like we have so many students that are moving here from other states. So even if you're, looking in Portland, Oregon, or if you're in Texas or wherever, what should students be looking for when they are going in to check out a beauty school?
they should be looking if it's TSB because that's the first question you'd ask. Is this Tennessee School of Beauty? Yes. Okay, you're in the right spot. If not, there's a couple of things you can do in place. So, I mean, of course, accreditation is a major key. I work with our national accrediting company to evaluate other schools, and because that is, I mean, the standard. To offer financial aid, to basically to prove that your school worthy of the government giving people money to go to your school, you have to meet certain standards. You can't just do whatever you want. There are certain things that have to be done a certain way. So accreditation is key because you're getting the standard.
I think
Uh,
like the schools being held accountable for what they're teaching. I mean, if we didn't have standards and we were just like, oh, we can either not teach or do whatever. I mean, I just
that's what caused the school near us to close down
Mhm.
recently. It was they got their accreditation pulled. They lost financial aid, and apparently they'd been under investigation and blah blah blah. But I guess they never got it under control and they lost accreditation and they shut down very, very
But
shortly
that's a
after.
huge thing right now that I feel like people don't always understand or know. Like before I started working at T, I had no idea what accreditation was or why it mattered or why it was important. But I think that asking that question, like, are
Mhm.
you accredited or are you able to, offer financial aid and stuff? Because a ton of schools in our area, even, and so I know this is happening all over the country, are opening these programs, and it's like, who, like, you have no qualifications to do that and they're able to accept tuition, they're able, like, that is one thing I think that's hurting our industry so much. So I'm happy that you started with that because I think the accreditation piece is really important. I think also just the vibe and the feeling that you get, are the students happy, are the students busy,
Mm.
are they doing what they're supposed to be doing? If you go on a tour and there's just people sitting around, that's probably like a red flag of what you're going to be doing there as a student.
Mhm. I think yes, that's huge. I think something else, I mean, I would be I would be concerned with how much is online. Again, what I
Mhm.
tell my tourists is, fortunately, some schools will teach you how to cut hair on an iPad. You're not cutting hair on an iPad. Again, it's crazy to me when people will say, "Oh no, I don't need this lash extensions class. There's a cheaper one online." And I'm like, I mean, that's working with razor sharp tweezers right by somebody's eye, and you're
Yeah.
about to just watch a YouTube video basically on it. That just doesn't seem
Yeah.
like a proper education to me. And I don't want to be getting, well, I don't really get my eyelashes done, but I don't want my fiance going somewhere by someone who just learned how to do lashes last week in their living room. I want to make sure that they have a proper certification or a licensure that's, accompanying it.
And taught by people that are licensed. So the one thing that, like, all of our advanced
Yeah.
education classes are taught by licensed instructors in the state of Tennessee. So not only have they earned their license to be able to teach, it's not just somebody that a brand is sending out saying, I'm going to certify you.
Mhm.
Like, that is one thing that all of our instructors that teach our advanced classes are licensed instructors. And I think that that's really important and really huge. And it might not be something that a licensed professional is thinking about. I think it's extra important for students. If you were going to like a nail school just being taught by a cosmetologist, even like just having somebody that is the professional in it is something that we always do. We're like, who is the best at this?
Mhm.
That's who's going to teach it. But they're always licensed instructors that have
Mhm.
to keep their license up, meaning they have to take continued education classes in education. They have to go to symposium. They have to get their continued ed credits. And
There's a lot that goes into being an
mhm,
educator and keeping that active every year. I mean, there's again requirements if you're accredited.
mhm,
So,
yeah.
another thing that I would say is just advanced education. Just because we've been speaking about it, lashes, hair extensions, medical aesthetics. You can do all of that at TSB because we want you to graduate with as many things under your belt as you can. And again, you can graduate our cosmetology program certified in lash extensions, mud, which is makeup designer, makeup certification, hair extensions. You can even take a dermaplaning class and have all sorts of these certifications that will make you more sought after, more experienced to again just give that credibility to who you are as a beauty professional.
We talk all the time about how, like, this is a program that you can really fast track, especially if you're bringing hours from high school. Like, your program is so short. So to not have to go and get continued ed classes after, to really be able to graduate and be like, I have all of this already. I'm going into a salon saying that I have XYZ certified already, I think is huge.
and just
So
not being a deer in the headlights if that does come up in the
mhm,
future. I mean, again, when we go to the ACT conference, we know all of the facets. Is that the right word?
yeah.
Facets. So again, and I think that's something that if you're in the beauty industry and your client asks about lash extensions, you say, "What? What are lash extensions?" That's not gonna be as great if you could answer all of their questions about lash extensions. I want to be well rounded. We hear people, you know, doing their salon presentations in preparation for graduation at our school, talking about, oh, me and my sister, she's doing the spa, I'm doing the salon, and we're gonna have a one-stop shop for all of our, everything you can need in the beauty industry. And I think that provides a much more enjoyable experience to someone who is coming to get something done because they trust you. I mean, again, you are the
The
influencer,
professional.
you're the
Yeah.
professional, they're the, yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing too, is like with people's conception of the beauty industry, their idea of it, perception, not conception, perception of the beauty industry. I think that it's just so important that we are creating professionals, that we're creating people that are going to be out there doing it right, that are not going to be charging illegally or doing things unlicensed. Like we really just make sure that they're professionals. They're the best of the best.
And something I think that we're doing is, again, there's all the stuff that is on the regular beauty professional complaint list. Like let's just say, your client comes in and they tone differently or they pull and something's wrong, color's wrong on their hair. You know how to deal with that stuff. It's all of the extra stuff that's hard. I mean, that's gonna, what happens if, when your client raises Cain in your chair and you're going back cussing at him and you guys get in a fight, that's going to throw everyone in the salon off. So we would
You how to handle the
teach you how to
situation,
handle it differently. And okay, I hear you. It looks like we're going to have to stop here, something like that. There's just a professional way to go about things. And how would you want it dealt with if you were, I don't know, in one of those positions? So
yeah, I do think that again is kind of sums up just like all the things that we're doing that are different. And it's just because it's what we're doing in our daily lives. Like we were saying recently about like fine tuning the school. It's just like, it's always, or in life, like Mark and I have this conversation of just like in our personal life of like, we're just constantly fine tuning or finding the things. But at some point, like we're like, okay, wait, no, what we're doing is different. And it's really cool. And I think
you got to stop and smell the roses and look back and appreciate. And again, I think something that Bobbi and I are good at is it's weird. It's like a paradox to me, because it's like we're never satisfied, but we're also very satisfied with like what we're doing. So, and
super
I think
happy
it's just
where we are.
looking for ways to improve. I mean, even if you improve this over here, there's got to be something else that you can level up a little bit, and we try to level it up and get everything to max skill level.
Yeah.
So to
And it's
speak.
like better, it just like filters down. Our instructors want to be the best. I know one of our instructors, Alyssa, like sent us a video of on a Monday, like she went in and she set up her class. And it's not like we have instructors that are just running in the day of class, like, oh, I want to get this set up. No, it's like there's preparation because they know that that's the expectation now. And so I think it just like really filters down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited for that we finally got to talk about all this stuff, but excited for what we're doing and like to see what other doors, open or opportunities. Like we always say, like we're super open book. If you're a salon owner or a student listening and you want to reach out, like you can reach out to us and you can DM us or email us or whatever. I mean, we're super available and hopefully we'll be able to connect with other people and just like, again, make the industry better. I think that that's what, our mission is. And I think that we're like doing it now and getting in front of the right people to do that. So,
Killing it.
so where can we follow you? I know you've got your social media. So where can we follow you to see what you have going on?
Well, definitely follow TN School of Beauty on Instagram and Tennessee School of Beauty on Facebook and TikTok, because sometimes I make some guest appearances and some videos. But I'm on Instagram, Vice Pres of Beauty. Figured that was appropriate. So that's my new education Instagram. So follow me on Vice Pres of Beauty, but I'd rather you follow Tennessee School of Beauty. See, because I have a hand in that, and I don't know. So Vice Pres of Beauty.
Like the culture of the school. I think that's what I always say when I go into the high schools is like, you want to see a day in the life of who we are and know like the uniqueness that we're talking about is we put it out there. Like that's what we want to be shown is all the different things that we're doing. And so, yeah, definitely follow at TN School of Beauty.
But you have to get in the school. I mean, even it's almost like we've been talking about Michelin star restaurants and stuff. We need to make the Michelin star. I mean, we've talked about this.
Of school.
Oh, wait, can I say this? I don't want someone to take this idea, but
we might have to cut that part out. But
yeah. So, but because I just, stop and see the school, even if you've never been in a beauty school or whatever, like,
oh my gosh, come in for services. Like I'm like blowing up how ridiculous our spa is right now and just being like trying to get everybody in there that we can because it's so incredible. So yeah, definitely come see us and you'll see us there.
See us, yes. I'm there every day of the week. So it's exciting and we're having a good time. We like to have fun.
Catch us at Potchki because we're usually like here on Fridays. So Thank you so much, Potchki, for letting us record here today. This was seriously a dream. I always say this is just like my happy place. If you haven't checked out Potchki, check them out. You're missing out if you haven't had the Reuben here. So definitely get that. And I think their Instagram is at Potchke, Potchke. And make sure you're following us at Beauty School Bobbi. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're listening on podcast, make sure you subscribe. It would be super helpful and amazing if you would leave a 5-star review, leave a comment on this episode, and just make sure you're following along to see all the things we're doing. So we will see you next time, guys. Bye.